between Pakistan and India, and its resolution is critical for regional stability, maritime security, and resource management. So today's session aims to unpack the historical background, strategic implications, and potential pathways towards conflict resolution, drawing from both military and academic perspectives. An IRIS mission is to bring together scholars, practitioners, and experts to foster understanding, encourage the critical debate, and contribute to solutions for complex geopolitical challenges. Today's webinar is part of that ongoing effort to bridge academic insights with practical policy relevance. So before moving forward, I would like to introduce our speakers. First, Rear Admiral Saeed Faisal Shah, Hilal-e-Imtiaz military. He has over 3.5 decades of distinguished service in the Pakistan Navy with extensive command staff, instructional, and operational experience. He is the first Marine officer to attain the rank of two-star admiral, an achievement that reflects his exceptional leadership and professional excellence. Our second speaker, Dr. Saeed Ahmed Rid, who serves as an assistant professor of politics, international relations, and peace studies at the National Institute of Pakistan Studies, NIPS, Quaid-i-Azam University, Islamabad. He completed his postdoctoral research at the University of Oxford as a Commonwealth academic scholar and visiting fellow, and holds a PhD in peace studies from the University of Bradford, UK. He's a recipient of numerous prestigious awards, including the Commonwealth Scholarship, the Rotary World Peace Fellowship, and the Mahbub Haq Research Award. With 5 books, monographs, and over 25 research articles, Dr. Saeed Ahmed Rid is widely recognized for his for his scholarship on South Asian politics, conflict resolution, and India-Pakistan resolution. So before moving forward, I would like to share a brief of this session. Today's session is divided into 2 parts. The first half, Rear Admiral Saeed Faisal Shah will lead the discussion. And in the second half, Dr. Saeed Ahmed Rid will present his insights. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Rear Admiral Saeed Faisal Shah, who will be sharing his valuable thoughts on the topic, the Navy's role in the conflict between Pakistan and India in May 2025. Sir, thank you very much for joining us today. Over to you, sir.
Maybe sir will join with after sir को हम अगर टाइम दे देते हैं पहले तो सर के बाद हम सर को ले
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Dr. Saeed Ahmed Rid, for joining us today, for your precious time. Sir, over to you, sir.
Okay, can I share slides?
Sir, headphones say we cannot hear you properly. If you talk without headphone, maybe we can hear you properly. Thank you.
Can you hear now?
Sir.
Okay, let me share slides. How can I share from, okay, this is 1 minute. So this is different. No, this is, oh yeah, this one. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how does it move? Sorry. Okay, yes. Now, so you can see, I mean, today as I was assigned this topic, historical analysis of Sar Creek, Pakistan-India border dispute. And so briefly, I will touch upon, different things of, introduce this topic as well. I mean, because many people don't know exactly what Sar Creek problem is. So I would look at brief historical analysis first, and what is Sar Creek, etc. So Sar Creek, as you can see, it's a 96-kilometer long tidal estuary in the Run of Kutch between Gujarat, India, and Sindh, Pakistan. And historically, this was named, as Ben Ganga, but then it was named after Sir Richard Burton, who actually was the surveyor. And because of him, this name Sir was associated with this, and this became Sar Creek. History of this conflict is that this conflict basically first time came into light in 1908 when the ruler of Kutch and the government of Sindh had a dispute over collection of firewood in this area, and this was resolved actually in 1914. Now, this 1914 agreement, which was announced by the Bombay government, is the real base from where the current dispute actually is concerned as well. This agreement, basically paragraph 9, placed the border east of Sar Creek, implying the Greek belonged to the Sindh, Pakistan. So this is where Pakistani position comes in. While paragraph 10 of the same agreement applied the Thelvig line principle, saying the mid-channel was the boundary. So this is where basically the agreement was achieved. But later on, we see that in 1964, before the war of 1965, armed clashes between Pakistan and India took place in this run of Kutch area. And over this, basically, there was a small war before 1965 war. And after 1965 war, there was an agreement again, which was brokered in 1960. And this agreement upheld 90% of India's claim to the run of Kutch, but 10% was given to Pakistan. But this area, which basically divides Sar Creek, was left undemarcated, which is why this problem still continues. Nature of the dispute, basically, if you look at what is the nature of the dispute, that this agreement, which I have already mentioned to you in 1914, this was signed by the British controlled Sindh and a ruler of the Kutch. There are competing claims between Pakistan and India. Pakistan views this boundary line along the eastern bank, giving the creek to Pakistan, whereas the India believes that Thelvig line should be followed, and the middle of the channel should be considered as the boundary. So Pakistan basically argues that because this area is non-navigable, so Thelvig line should not apply, which is the basically principle in international law, that if it is navigable, then only Thelvig rule is applied. So in this case, because this is not navigable, so Thelvig rule shouldn't apply. So this is where the dispute is, and you can see here from this picture. So where exactly this problem so you can see that green line, which is there, that is where Pakistan wants to have that border, whereas for Indian side basically claim that red line, which is the Thelvig line, center of the creek, mid of this creek. So this area basically is under dispute between India and Pakistan now. And its significance, you can see, is because of these reasons. First of all, it is the exclusive economic zone is the delimitation obviously would give access to exclusive economic zone to either India or Pakistan, whoever gets this. There are reports that oil and natural gas reserves are there, and which can be tapped as well. So both Pakistan and India believe that this region has natural oil and gas reserves. So they are interested in this for this reason as well. And fisheries and livelihood is another reason, because vital communities live around these fishermen. In past, fishermen are arrested catching fish in this region on both sides. So this also is one of the reason that a lot of fish is there, which is of economic value as well, and environmentally as well. This is part of the Indus Delta ecosystem. Mangroves are there, so that is also one of the interests of Pakistan. That because Indus Delta is obviously part of Pakistan, so this would obviously help Pakistan to maintain Indus ecosystem. So for Pakistan, this obviously is very important, and Pakistan believes that its position, which is the by international law, the logical position, should be accepted by India. And there has been a lot of effort on this to how to resolve this. As you know, in 1965, war took place, and after war, British Prime Minister Harold Wilson mediated, and that agreement, which I have already mentioned to you, was made in 1968, where most of it was resolved, but just that area was not resolved. In then 1997 Composite Dialogue Framework, once again there was an effort was made to resolve this issue, but it could not resolve. And then finally in 2005 to 2007, when peace process was there in between India and Pakistan, there was a lot of movement around this, and even the surveys were conducted, and reports were that agreement between India and Pakistan was really very close. And by July 2007, there was reports that it might be announced during the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's visit, which was planned in July 2007, that Sar Creek issue would be resolved. So these kind of reports were there, which could not materialize because the visit of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh could not take place, and the peace process later on could not continue, and the problem is now still persists because of this. So why is this now coming back in use after so many years? There are quite a few statements coming from the Indian side and some military exercises also, which is why we are talking about this now. Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh issued one warning to Pakistan, and this is a very, very dangerous kind of a statement. You can see that Indian forces reached Lahore in 1960. So he has referred to Lahore, that we can repeat same with Karachi. So he's kind of a threatening statement coming from Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh over this, which obviously was taken very seriously in Pakistan. And he also referred to Pakistan's recent military movement and some unannounced development. But this all was basically in response to Indian military deployment along the border and the Trishul large-scale tri-service military exercise which took place around this. Now, Trishul tri-service exercises are the major exercise in this region for so many years, and which had certain objectives from the Indian side. The exercise lasted for 12 days from 30 October to 10 November, and the exercise took place along the Pakistan border, covering Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Arabian Sea, and its focus was more on Sar Creek region. That is why Sar Creek is under discussion. And the message to Pakistan basically was that India basically wants to do something in Sar Creek, and Pakistan obviously was alarmed on this, and then responded with their own exercises. And interestingly, this tri-service military exercises involved Army, Air Force, and Navy, all three. And over 20,000 troops, Indian troops, were involved with all the tanks and Rafale and S-30 fighter jets, So this was a major exercise, a very heavy exercise, which took place covering all the area around Pakistan. So it was Pakistan focused, you can see from its location and its purpose. And the objective was to demonstrate the joint operational readiness of India's armed forces of land, sea, and air, and test seamless coordination and rapid force mobilization. And so basically, recently India, Pakistan, and are focusing on this to show that, because in May 2025 war, there was a problem on the Indian side that these three, Army, Air Force, and Navy coordination was not as good as Pakistan had. So India was trying to portray and show to the world that through this exercise that their coordination is in place and they can respond to Pakistan. So this messaging is there. Now, if you look at this, overall, these exercises basically trying to, because they obviously are not happy with the results of May 2025 combat. So they are trying to show to the world that, okay, that happened, but we are now ready for, anything. But for region, I think this is very dangerous, because India and Pakistan are nuclear states, and these kind of warmongering basically taking place from India is not good for the region, and it makes chances of peace less and more chances of war. And I think this is considering India and Pakistan both are nuclear states, any idea of war should not basically come into the minds of both India and Pakistan, because this is very dangerous game, and warmongering along these lines is not in interest of anyone. There are threats of war being started, but if you look at this closely, this is more a kind of a basically from Indian side, kind of showing that they are ready, not more than that, and they know that Pakistan is more than ready for any kind of misadventure. So I don't think this will go to that limit. But obviously, this is region is becoming more hot and more problems, and obviously this is very serious, and international community should also take this in notice. And because these kind of things, if keep happening, then anything can happen. So I think for the peace of the region, such kind of military exercises, especially so close to the border, should be avoided. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much. Amna, are you here?
Okay, am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
So, sir, your session has been, have you delivered your valuable thoughts? Have you completed it, right?
Yes, I have completed my first, initial opinion, as I was given 10 minutes. So I have tried my best to complete them in 10
Okay,
minutes.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your precious time, for sharing your such a valuable insights. So moving to the other speaker with us, Admiral, Rear Admiral, Sir Faisal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sir, we can hear you. Please, sir, carry on. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Acha, okay. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I just joined in between. So I had the honor of listening some of the points by the worthy speaker before me. And all are Pakistanis, or is there any foreigner also? I can speak in Urdu also.
Sir, maybe a different attitude of South Korea. He's attending the event, and some
Is there? Okay,
friend
okay,
from Uzbekistan also joining this.
okay. I'll talk about only three things. First of all, Sir Creek importance and significance. Why Sir Creek is important? It is important because the maritime boundary between Pakistan and India has not been delineated so far. It's not only about exclusive economic zone or the continental shelf, but the maritime boundary, very maritime boundary, has not been delineated between Pakistan and India. It has been delineated between Pakistan and Iran, Pakistan and Oman, but not with India. So, to delineate maritime boundary between the two maritime nations, you need to have one point on land agreed upon by both the nations from where a line is drawn into the south in sea, and that becomes a maritime boundary. So, unless we have that land point mutually agreed upon by both India and Pakistan, we cannot have a maritime boundary delineated between both countries. The problem in agreeing upon that point on land is that there are different connotations on the orientation of Sir Creek. So Pakistan has a principal stance, has a historical stance, and India goes by Thalwik principle, which says that any water body between two uh, nations, if it is navigable during high waters, the boundary would run in middle. India initially said the boundary at Sir Creek was on the left bank. Then it made use of this Thalwik principle. So they don't have a consistent stance. Pakistan says that the boundary between the two countries was much earlier resolved, um, and it was stated that the boundary ran along the eastern bank, and that has been Pakistan's stance all along. So Pakistan has a very principled and historical stance. Now we have, according to our orientation, we say that the point that we have to agree upon on land lies at one point. India says it lies on another point. So if India agrees to our point, India loses around 1400 square kilometers of area in sea. And if we agree with Indian point, then we lose 1400 square kilometers of area in sea. So that is the bone of contention between the two countries. So uh, as the talks in some time frame move ahead, we would like to come to some middle ground, or we would like to convince Indians that our point is correct as per historical and principled stances. As far as exercise threshold is concerned, I would say that it was usual deployment. It was a usual exercise. It happens every year in the same time frame at the same place. This time its profile was enhanced because there were some statements by Indian political and military leadership before that exercise. And then this exercise came. So the profile of this exercise, in fact, was enhanced. And we became more cautious. Uh, as as this exercise is concerned, it is basically practicing of operations, the landing of troops from sea to land, and then retrieving them back from land to ship. This was the major objective of this exercise, and in any amphibious operation, in fact, all the three forces are usually involved. So that's how all the three armed forces of India was involved. But uh, if you think that this amphibious operation is applicable against Pakistan anywhere along our coast, that's not possible. That's technically not possible. So we did not have to, and it, I think 12th November, nothing happened. I don't think there is any chance of war between India and Pakistan. in near future, even in distant future, because the disparity in conventional domain that was perceived by India between Pakistan and India, it was perceived by us also, by the way. It was perceived by the world at large also, that disparity in conventional terms was mitigated by Pakistan effectively during May conflict with India. So there is no conventional dissimilarity or disparity between Pakistan and India. And you have seen that today also, unfortunately, one Indian homemade pride of their Air Force and aviation industry, Tejas, it crashed. So the statements of their leadership, both political and military notwithstanding, but the ground reality is very different. Indian armed forces are not what they have been posing them to be. And it's a disappointment not to Indian audience, but also to international audience, because there were a lot of investments being carried out by West in India against China. Now they have come to know that that investment is not fruitful, and they might have to reconsider that, or they might have to adopt some different strategy. So these are my takes on these 3 points, and over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful thoughts. So participants, if you have any questions, please do write down in the chat box. Sir, we have one question. As we know, Creek issue, as other border issues in the world, is a great challenge for Pakistan and India relations. However, third-party talks are not acceptable to India. What is the alternate way to resolve the dispute?
So this is question to me.
Sir, I can say both
Yeah.
of you can share your thoughts in brief.
Okay, so as the person who, I think it's Faisal, the question basically how they can resolve the issue. As we can see, the current status between India and Pakistan is that both countries are not at good terms with each other, and recently we had that war. So the chances of any kind of mediation, until and unless especially Modi government is there in India, are very bleak. And I think future, maybe we might have some opportunity like we had in past, as I have told you, in during peace process in 2005 to 2007. Surveys were conducted, and there were chances and there were reports that this issue might be resolved. But at the moment, I think there are very bleak chances, because even Pakistan and India are not on talking terms with each other at the moment. So I think that the situation has to change. The environment, overall environment, would be required to be changed. And for this, I think the CBMs are important, confidence building measures between India and Pakistan, to come closer to each other. And for this, obviously, from the Indian side, because Pakistan has always welcomed negotiations with India, but from the Indian side, there has been no welcome. So I think from their side, especially the Modi government, if they are willing to negotiate, and because Pakistan and India obviously need to talk about a lot of issues at the moment, as India has already Indus Water Treaty has been put in abeyance, and recently we had floods. India left water to Pakistan. So there are so many issues which need to be talked, except Kashmir obviously is the main issue. But apart from Kashmir, there are so many issues which require immediate attention of the two countries. But these all can come on the table once India is willing to sit with Pakistan on the table, which so far we don't see any chance in recent future, I think. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Sir Syed Faisal Ali Shah. Sir, we would like to take your respected opinion about a question जो कि अभी एक participant ने पूछा है. Sir, in your opinion, if Pakistan and India sincerely follow the principles of United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, such as the equidistance rule and the Thalweg doctrine, would the Sir Creek dispute become easier to resolve? And how much legal flexibility would both countries need to show within this framework to reach a mutually acceptable solution? Sir Syed
First,
sorry, Sir
okay,
Syed Faisal Ali Shah.
okay, I heard it. First thing is that uh, dispute is considered as a low-hanging fruit between India and Pakistan's relations, and it is assumed that whenever the talks start on disputes between the two countries, I think this will be the first one to be resolved because there is not much complexity in this dispute. Number one. So I agree with Dr. Saab that as of now, there may not be great prospects of talks and discussions and resolution of conflicts between India and Pakistan. But whenever it starts, I think it will be the first. See, all the legislation, rules, regulations, they are perceptive in nature. They are perceptive in nature. It is up to you how do you interpret them? How do you perceive them? That's why in any case of judicial case, there is one person who is blamed for a crime. There is one advocate who's saving him, and there is other advocate who is blaming him. Both are using the same law, same rule. So it is interpretive, it is perceptive. So you just cannot say that all the regulations and legislation laws and rules, these are very sacrosanct or are found in black and white. That what you understand out of it, I should also understand out of it. That is how the cases are fought. But having said that, if we respect the international systems, if we respect the international legislation, of course, there will be less chaos in the world. This chaos and this war fighting, this conflicts, it is more because we uh, bypass international system, we bypass international norms, values, legislations, laws, rules, regulations for promoting our own interests. So, I mean, this message is for whole world that if we uh, understand international system, if we abide by international rules, regulations, and systems, why not? Things will get easier for everybody.
Thank you, sir. Meeting is going to be end in 2 minutes. Please, everyone join with the same link.